Well, good morning. Wanted to talk today about a very important part of our evolutionary process, this time of transformation where we are more and more being shown a clear choice. This is like a crossroads, you could say, a crossroads time in our journey, because I've talked before about this evolution from the tribal mind, the egoic mind, and now moving into the spiritual mind. And it involves a very clear choice. When we're in our own personal journey, we make these choices to move from the tribal. Most of us, growing up in, say, North America, get a choice around the age of 17, 18, maybe by the time we're 21. The choice to move toward our own independence, moving away from the bond, the primary bond with the biological family, and developing our own independent life apart from the clan, the biological clan. Something that really never happens in the culture where I'm living now, which is very tribal, and people hold on to that primary bond with the biological clan for the whole life. So some of us make a choice to move into this, again, more egoic world where the self, the individual, takes precedent over the group, the family. And then for some now, our choice is to move into community, into a higher state of consciousness where we see our family being those that have the ability, the expansive consciousness to live in harmony with the earth and with each other, and building literally a new earth. So this is a choice being presented to us today, and it's becoming very clear. This is what I want to talk about under the name, what I call my definition of the Luciferic principle, that I was impressed years ago with the work of Robert Johnson, a Jungian therapist, and wrote a series of books, simple books on our process of transformation. And really what this involves is this idea of bringing the shadow elements, bringing what we might call evil, the darkness, into the light so that it might be transformed. And in Johnson's book, he uses three literary figures to describe this developmental journey. He uses the phrase two-dimensional, three-dimensional, and four-dimensional levels of consciousness that would pretty much align with tribal, egoic, and the spiritual mind. In the two-dimensional man, he uses Don Quixote as the example, as the metaphor that describes someone that's very delusional, that doesn't really want to see the darkness at all. So they push it away. That's just the basic mind of the child or the young adolescent that lives in a fantasy world and doesn't really want to see things as they are. And because of that, they never are able to accomplish the fullness of their development. The three-dimensional person described by the literary figure of Hamlet becomes much more intelligent, much more evolved, where now he or she sees the darkness, sees evil, but is helpless to do anything about it. And so in the story of Hamlet, everything comes to a very bad ending because the character is powerless to confront evil and do something about it. In Faust, a brilliant story that's there's several renditions of Faust. The one that Johnson refers to most is Goethe's Faust, and that's, for me, also a very brilliant rendition of the story of a man who chooses to do battle, engage with evil, Mephistopheles, but Lucifer is the word that I use to describe this representation of evil, and with the twist from the typical, more biblical view of Satan or Lucifer as, you know, the king of darkness. I mean, the real definition of Lucifer, the original word, is the bearer of light. That, in my view, and also Johnson's view, what Lucifer, the role of Lucifer is literally to show, to guide Faust through his own hell so that he might choose heaven. And this is basically the age-old story of Dante's Inferno, many renditions of this journey through the dark night of the soul. I've described in a series of talks my own personal journey that involved that very poignant 21-year journey through the dark night of the soul, the way of the cross. And it's an essential process for us to understand today, because literally our whole species, more or less, the Homo sapiens, is going through this dark night. And there's many individuals who would collectively play this Lucifer role, this Lucifer principle of showing us, okay, so I've got 3 examples that I wrote down, individuals who are choosing to play this role, very much like Lucifer did in the mythology with God, where Lucifer was one of the archangels, Michael, I think, and got too, in that classic story, got too uppity, wanted too much power, and was cast into this underworld and became Satan. So I would just offer that there are certain individuals today that certainly appear to be taking on this role of playing God. Take Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. There's a variety, of course, older families like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. And there are certain individuals who clearly have this mindset where they believe that they know better than pretty much anybody else how the earth should be run, how humans should be controlled. Okay, so they're implementing these measures today to create this, in their mind, this utopia, but to the average Homo sapien, this is becoming a dystopian nightmare. It is becoming a version of hell. Okay, so what we're seeing now in the world more clearly than ever is this incredible division between the light and the dark, good and evil, however you want to call it. So we can make a choice. Okay, this is the whole point. This is what I would say about the Luciferic principle, that it's by bringing the darkness into the light, by seeing it more clearly, we can make a choice. We can choose to be more conscious. So the idea is we're becoming more conscious of our collective evil so that we can transform it into something miraculous, something beautiful. So this is, again, for me, in birthing a new earth, what it actually takes to do this, to make this shift, okay, from the tribal and egoic condition, which is doomed, right? Both of them are doomed, into our salvation, into Homo globulus, Homo spiritus, where we literally now can build something new because we've made a very clear choice. And I see others out there that are speaking clearly about fighting the fight, confronting evil and all of that. And what I would offer is that there's a choice that comes from a higher consciousness that's not going to engage in a battle, but will actually use the situation as an incentive to create something new. There's a great quote that I'll paraphrase from Buckminster Fuller, one a very brilliant architect, designer of new. He was the one that developed the geodesic dome and many innovations. But his contribution, in my mind, is that he was one of those that were planting seeds way back that would germinate and one day blossom into our new earth. He said very clearly, do not waste your resources, your energy, your time, your money, whatever, fighting against the old structures, the old forms. Build something new.